What's going on, YouTubes? Time for recap. So we only had one post today. Easy kill. So let me post what we were looking at today. We had our best case scenario long watch over yesterday's close. We had the data fibbed out here, and we have some long targets for the day. Now we got a little dip prior to that, and of course our group knew what to do with that, but our T1 long targets up here did get crunched. So we are taking, well, we're out of Top Step. If you've seen a little bit of the X post there, we're no longer allowed to trade at Top Step for zero blank reasons, which I'll touch on some stuff tomorrow with that, on some information I got. So no worries on that. We'll go over it. But we are on Top 1 now. So I've been testing this one out in the back end as well. And you know us, always transparent, always 100%. So when we go into these are your fund. Oh, you get a practice account too, isn't it? Yeah, right here. Okay, you get a sim, and then these are the funded accounts for the instance. I didn't go through any trials. I just purchased them because, well, I don't need to do trials. We got consistency here. So we've been using Top 1 here. This is the 150K accounts for me. You can see my daily summary here. Moving over to Top 1, not a single red day. Is what we like to try and keep, 100% consistency and transparency. My consistency just hit the 20% marker. We have $11,000 in profit on this account, and we submitted our payout today. So I will let you guys know how the Top 1 goes, because we got $3,500 coming from Top 1 after Top Step stole, well, all my money and all the hard work, but no big deal. And like I always posted, or I already posted on X, it's really not a big deal at all for us. We're cash traders. I have large accounts. I've been doing this for the better part of almost 2 decades now. One little prop firm mishap does not matter to me one bit. So we're going to try to get affiliated with Top 1. So far, so good. Great support so far. Great platform so far. We'll see how it goes. I got a couple discrepancies, but that's not for this video. All right, let's get into the recap. So as we get into here's our T1 and T2. Now, my sentiment, as you see, I like to draw these giant candles. I'm going to clean this up for you guys here, but over under yesterday's highs, I have an auto-coded little line right there, dash line, that always puts yesterday's high-low close for me. There we go. Let's delete these. Let's delete our data fib, because we got some other stuff to talk about here, and then our no tag. All right. So what we had seen, all right, we had this little dip, and we had some algos this morning, right? And that little dip came back down to the pre-low, which is pretty good, because we said if it does stay under yesterday's close, we have a target watch, obviously the GP of yesterday. So when we always take high and low of the prior day, we make them gold. If we go over the highs, we go for the extension. We go under the highs inside the candle, we go for the retracement, right? So anything under yesterday's close was that, but my long case, best case scenario is anything over yesterday's close. Confirmation was heavy over yesterday's highs, trend over yesterday's highs. These are all the notes that we put on, and then we hit our longs. But where do we get those targets from, right? Because today was kind of a choppy nonsense, and you can see now why I use Fibonacci daily, why I teach this way. Yesterday's highs, right? Lows we just went over, golden pocket here, but when we're over yesterday's highs, we always go to the 1618. Okay, that's an overlap. Whoops, 666 is a different fib. We had an overlap, but the 1618. So we pretty much tapped right into that penny. This is also a very important no tag I'll go over this weekend. But what we got here for the day trade on the extension, okay, we have the huge algo right here. We had a paired algo, multiple, on SPY and QQQ, and this guy left a no GP up here, right at that 7:30 a.m. Really good candle to use here. Now, why is this a good candle? Generally, when I teach candle picking, I like to see something hit a moving average, so to speak, right? So let's say a big candle like this hits a 200 SMA, 100 EMA, something, right? In this case, on the bottom reversal, it actually hit the bottom of the algo and the pre-market low because of that algo. So we also called that bounce point there during live trade. And then I was 100% long biased still. And that's what I told the group right here at 10. I said, I'm still leaned 100% long biased until we start that trend under yesterday's close. It's the only way it can happen. Does this look like trend? Absolutely not. One little break. And then of course, all of our notes say 100% long. And then T3, which is our big bonus long as well. So we did hit that little pullback, all thanks to this candle here. Now, usually when I pick these candles, like I just said, I like to see a moving average hit or a VWAP. Now, we got a little shy from that VWAP, but the only marker for this candle is 730. It's just 730 candle. It's a little bit of data, but 730 is a half whole candle. So you look at 30-minute candles, hourly candles, 15-minute candles, they can have a stronger structure. Now, taking that candle into consideration for the downside, when we made that box, and of course we're just on that 5-minute, so it's got to be a tight box. We have to mix these fibs. So with that fib, I'm going to delete. I just wanted to talk about that one quick, and then I'm going to go over to the pre-algo. All right. And then I want to see you show you the differences here. So that 423.6 came in here. And then, of course, our long targets were from the GPs of 730. But this algo candle shined, right? The overlap was really good. It came down to that GP. It popped up. We had a nice little grind. It had to do a little stop loss eater, filled up the bottom of the algos. This is very important. I talk about this a lot. When I talk about the algo candles where they put these wicks in, I give them high-low ranges. I almost treat it like a gap. So this whole candle, including the wick, obviously the entire high-low, everything moved down to the lower. It hit. What did it do on the top? Well, it left a gap. It's not really a gap, but a gap in price action, right? Not on the chart, not in candle action, price action. So as it came up right here, finally, the fill point was right here. So when I do see algos like this, I generally see if they can hit both top and bottom of that algo in the range. And I use the golden pocket to play in that direction. So let's stack our oscillation indicators on top of that and kind of see some of the confirms we've seen finally play out. Now, RSI giving you a mini divergence here where we are in the bottom channel, which is less likely to be uptrended because we are under the 50 on the RSI as we teach. Overcooled here, higher load here. But look at the price action. Lower low from prior low. Okay, so now we got a little divergence. MACD, not so much divergence, more convergence, but we did get a moving average cross with some strong buy waves right here, 1030. You know me in 1030, I'm a time cycler. I like to watch 1030 to 11 a.m. Central because the European market closes and the algos like to shift. They can even do a trend change dynamic, right? So if we see a downtrend, 1, 2, 3 pops up and then 10, 30, 11 comes along and then no longer wants the downtrend because the EU algos let loose and we were 100% long biased. As we said, that was a lot of the caretaking of that trade. So what we want to do is utilize multiple Fibonacci points. And in this case, all I did was use yesterday's high close. We had a really nice wick point and then the 50 fib, right, of the algo candle. So once we came into that 10, 30, 11, started breaking back up, hitting the top. And of course, we had a really nice consolidation right here, target 1 and 2. Hitting from the candle we discussed here at 7:30 a.m. Central, that was a consolidation point because it was going to find resistance. That's what we call a first tag metric, right? So when we draw that Fibonacci, right, and the golden pocket is inside that Fibonacci, the first time price action returns to that golden pocket, we have opposite reactions. So if the price action is coming from the bottom and nails into the GP, we're going to have an opposite reaction to that, right? And then it's going to confirm trend. Now, we had a lot of confirmation here. Obviously, the RSI giving us perfect upside, MACD as well, trend as well. It was just a perfect 10 SMA ride, 10 SMA loop, and off she went for the last leg. And we got all of our long targets, as we called, over yesterday's highs with trend. And this one was pretty cool because even if you missed the trend, even if it popped back up here, anything over the 2618 is something that we had mentioned a ton from this little candle here in chat as well. So you had yesterday's highs, 2618, and we talk a lot about fib recycling. So the last thing I'll cover here is that fib recycle. Again, it's basic stuff and it's just a repeat. We're going to go over a lot of different things tomorrow in class on YouTube's here, but this one, important to the downside. 1618 was tagged, 2618 was tagged, 3618 was tagged, 423.6 was tagged. Obviously, the super extension of the 666 only in parabolic times. We didn't use that. But once that fib, again, was left open on the GP, it walked itself up. 423, 3618, 2618, 1618 GP, and then it went the opposite way. So this is a really cool part as well. You can take that Fibonacci and you can just, once it cycles, because again, the bottom is the cycle, right? We had all those extensions we just covered to the bottom. Now, when it goes over the GP, you get to flip it, because fibs always work. And it's not if the Fibonacci is going to work, it's when. And that's why confirmation is so important. So when we got over the GP and we got over the high, oh, that's not the high. What the heck happened here? Snapping TOS thinks it knows candles. There we go. All right. So once it got over the top of that candle, here's that breakout. Where did it go? 1618, 2618, right? Broke right through the 1618. What's my golden rule? We just covered this, and tomorrow I'm going to deep dive into the Fibonacci rule sets. I've been having 10 million questions on my rules of Fibonacci. We're going to go over them way deeper than just a record. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can tomorrow in class, 11 a.m. Central. Tune in live on the YouTubes. But here is our box. 1618 is right here. Broke through. Tag the 2618. This is a huge short opportunity because why? Well, rule number one, if we have a fib box and it goes up to the 1618 and it does not return to the 100 before it goes to the 2618, okay? Replay that a few times. When the 2618 hits without 100, without the 1618 backtest, right? So up 1618, 100, 2. That's what it's supposed to do. If it does not do that, it breaks out. It goes over the 1618 right to the 2618. It gave no backtest to the 100 prior to running to the 2618. We short the crap out of the 2618 back to the 100 because it owes us money. It owes us trend. And if you can see here, the psychology of the move, straight up, small consolidation, straight up. That is a lot of upside move. So it's due for a pullback. How do we find the pullback? Well, Fibonacci, like always. If it doesn't hit the level, stop trading it. So this Fibonacci right here pointed to the upside, blows through the 1618, hits our 2618 with no 100, dink. And there's your buy zone again, whoop, right to the 3618. One single fib ruled the day. Now, of course, we do overlap a lot of these fibs, daily, weekly, so on and so forth, for these things. But hey, it was a great day overall, despite the ugly chop. So that is it. Oh, wait, did I even show P&Ls? I don't think I did. Hold on, let me log in. I always like transparency stuff. I think you just seen it on the other one, but I did like 1400 on the other account. And hold on, do top one here. I was testing this. There we go. So here it is. Top one is also Top Step X. It's the same thing, Project X, identical. So really nice moves here. These are all the funded accounts. This one's paused due to payout. So I made 1251, 1123, 1123, and that one is the sim on the bottom I was testing. So nothing there. $3,300 green on the real funded accounts and payout secured. So 100% accuracy. You can only have 3 live accounts here, or funded, whatever you want to call them. So we got the max out account and we are starting on the top one. Now I'll let you know how everything else goes on the consistency. All right, guys, if you want to tune in live with me on stream in the Discord, links in the description. Come trade with us. We have a huge community of awesome traders. If you want to win some cash money, and we have sponsored accounts, we have BRT accounts, we have all sorts of stuff coming out tomorrow. It's going to be a big stream tomorrow. Come on, stop by YouTube, drop a comment, drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, and I pick a random comment to just give away cash to. It's that simple. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Take care.